Well, first thing, let me just say I'm going to enjoy watching some football tonight. A whole lot better now than if we'd have lost because I'll be glued to the TV. A lot of fun. I'm proud of our guys. Bucknell played great. Jeez, they shot the absolute lights out. They made tough threes. They made threes on the run. They made them stepping behind screens. There was a few of them where I thought they just got loose and had open looks, but a lot of those they're making them under duress. We got a hand up, and so anyway, they played great. But our guys battled, and they never quit. We had to play without Cat for, I think, 11 or 12 minutes in the first half. I thought Cody got more comfortable as that, the first half kind of wore on, and he did a nice job, and that was good for our team to, survive with Cat not in the game. And then, I think guys stepped up. Malik has not played particularly well. Came back today, I thought, had a nice game, rebounded the ball pretty good, scored it. Maverick bounced back. Guy gets 27, made big, tough, important baskets at important times. And so anyway, we're just one of those teams that's going to slug it out every night probably. And so our guys did a nice win today against a team I think, they get in their league, could win a lot of games this year. They're very good, very well coached, good team, 5 starters back, 19 wins last year. It's the kind of team we like to play. I like playing teams like that. But anyway, our guys did a nice job.
Coach, Tuesday night, Abu, Mav, and Leonard all had off nights just by their own standards.
Yep.
And obviously today,
Yep.
they all did amazing. So what was working differently for the 3 of them today?
Well, I think you got to remember all 3 of those, well, everybody. But you asked about those 3 guys. They're good. They're great competitors. This guy like Maverick, he gets to play against Michigan, national television. He goes 1 for 11, and nobody hurts more than he does. That's a tough one for him, and you can tell with his competitive nature. He says, "I'm coming back tonight," and did. And same with Malik. Malik had a couple games where he didn't play nearly as well as he could. But there's a competitive spirit that says, okay, I'm not playing very well, and I need to do a lot better. So, those guys stepped up. We're a different team when we get scoring out of Malik, Leonard, BJ inside. We get something there. Leonard was great today. Had 13 rebounds, 10 points, gets a double-double. And he's starting to get back into conditioning. He is not really there. He's really out almost 6 months with the injury he had this summer, and he's got a 16-inch titanium rod down his shin bone, and he's just getting into good shape. But I thought those guys just had they just bounced back. They competed really hard. They were serious in practice and did a nice job today.
Mark, you talked about slugging it out. Or with this group, are there going to be more nights than not where it's not going to be maybe that easy or that pretty, that you're going to have some of that adversity in the game?
Well, I really think that we're a team that is going to improve a lot. I really do. And there's a great deal of room for that because you're talking about guys playing. It's like Cody today. He plays 12 minutes at the point guard. And truthfully, in game situations, he really's not done much of that at all, even in high school. So he's going to learn. He's going to get better. Caleb hasn't played a lot. Played some last year. Cody, Maverick. I mean, we have a lot of guys that are in new roles that are a lot more is expected. And so they're going to keep it getting better, I think, as the year goes on. And then on top of that, we've chosen. Nobody made us, but I like to play good teams. When we scheduled Bucknell, we knew that, we got to play. Like, this isn't, we can all just come out here and work on our point averages. It's a good team. Same was with Winthrop. And, you can go down the line. So that's all by design. So to answer your question is probably, I hope not, but probably there's going to be some times we're just going to have to keep grinding it out. And my hope is that we just can keep getting better. We got to keep improving. You have a vision of what you think your team can be. We got to get there. We're not there, and but we're going to. Our guys we're going to get there.
Along those lines, how would you evaluate your defense at this point?
You know, just statistically not great. And it's kind of a tricky thing, you know, like there were times today I thought defensively we had some major breakdowns. Then there are other times I'm thinking, boy, that's a tough shot the guy just made. That's a tough shot. There's another tough contested three. And so we have to be a lot better, to answer your question. Have to be a lot better. Probably need to use our zone defense a little bit more. We went to it down one tonight with, I'm not sure how much time was left, but I think we were down one. We went to our zone. We had 4 straight stops, and we may need to look at that more. So we have to figure out how we can become a really good defensive team. A lot is asked of Caleb and Cody, you know, those perimeter guys. We've got to do a better job there as well. But I think, Joe, for us, that's we got to get a lot better. We have to improve there in a great way. We're not going to be able to outscore everybody. It was nice today, you know. 99 was nice, but we didn't do it last on the other day against Michigan, so we got to get better.
Going back to Leonard, your strategy seems to be just to throw him out there and see if he can swim. Do you need to pull him back some before he's like 100% here?
Well, I think with Leonard, the only thing really he lacks is conditioning, and I think, you know, there's a difference in sports in kind of practice conditioning and then game conditioning. And he's got to get into game conditioning. And even back in when we started practice mid-October, I always said in my mind, I thought probably by mid-December or even January is when he'd really get into great basketball shape. And we held him out 2.5 months before the surgery, hoping that the stress fracture would heal on its own. And then he had the surgery. Then it was another 4 months. So that's a long time for an athlete to not do anything. And so he's coming. I thought today Leonard looked like he had a little bit more, you know, zip than he did even a couple weeks ago. He's going after rebounds, and he's that second jump when he'd rebound it and touch the floor and get right back up there again. So he's coming. He's getting there, but he's got to do it in the game. He's got to get game conditioning in.
Coach, you're the only one in this room who has felt what it's like to be as hot as Chris Haas was in the first half. Can you recall what that's like?
Oh, you're a nice guy. I like that.
I'm old enough to have seen it. So.
Yeah, long time ago. Boy, here's what was interesting, and I just saw one of their assistant coaches in the hallway, and we were talking about it. We watched the Columbia tape, their last game, and he had about, I don't know how many, 7 or 8 wide open. I'm talking about wide open. They lost him. He's standing there. They throw it to him. It's target practice. He can't make one of them. He didn't make any of them. And, you know, now knowing he's a good player, you're watching it going, boy, that guy really hadn't gotten his groove like he did last year. You know, he scored a bunch against Villanova and had a great nights. Boy, then he comes out tonight and just, you know, all of a sudden he's, you know, phenomenal. The guy's hitting him again. He hit 2 or 3 on the run. He's coming off screens where he's curling around the three-point line, catching it and almost twisting in the air. And, you know, and so he got in that zone and did a great job. So we just have to be better. We've got to be better. That's on us, too. What's that? Oh, for me? Oh, that's memories fading. Every now and then I get out a tape, you know, and watch it just to make me feel good, you know. So, who's that guy? Who was that guy? No, he played awfully well today.